Welcome back to another chilling episode of True Crime Stories. Today, we're diving deep into 3 heartbreaking cases that shook communities and left families forever changed. These aren't just statistics or headlines. These are real people whose lives were tragically cut short by those who should have protected them, or simply walked away. Today's episode explores the dangerous intersection of toxic relationships, family violence, and the devastating consequences when warning signs go unheeded. Let's begin. What would you do if someone you loved forced you to watch them dig your own grave? This nightmare became reality for our first victim. Rachel Burkheimer was just 18 years old when her life ended in September 2002. Born January 16, 1984, Rachel was described as a beautiful, funny, loving, and spiritual young woman. But behind that bright exterior lay a teenager struggling with loss and trying to find her place in the world. After several tragic losses in her life, 18-year-old Rachel got mixed up with the wrong crowd of people. She was trying to turn her life around, planning to return to regular high school and leave alternative education behind. She told her father she'd met a new friend encouraging her to go back to Linwood High School. They'd both finish their senior year and have a real prom. That friend was Maurice Rivas, who would later plead guilty to her murder. Rachel had been involved with John Diggy Anderson, a relationship that had turned dangerous. Just as she was about to get her life back on track, she discovered just how hard it was to break up with John Diggy Anderson. The breakup would cost her everything. On September 23, 2002, Rachel was kidnapped, bound, gagged, and shoved into a duffel bag. She was driven to Gold Bar where her ex-boyfriend, John Anderson, ordered others to dig her grave, while she was forced to watch. While some of her abductors left to get supplies, she was left alone with Maurice Rivas, the man she thought would help her. She told him she knew she was going to die, and begged him for mercy that never came. Rachel was murdered by those she trusted after rumors of her betraying them circulated. The pretty, athletic, and driven 18-year-old ended up buried in a shallow grave, with one of her best friends holding a shovel. On to the next case. Sometimes the person who knocks on your door asking for help is the last person you'll ever see alive. Our second story takes us to Florida, where an act of kindness became a death sentence. Tiffany and Cole, born December 3, 1981, was found guilty of the kidnapping and first-degree murder of a Duval County, Florida husband and wife. But this wasn't a crime of passion or desperation. It was calculated, cold-blooded murder for money. Carol and Reggie Sumner, an elderly couple, were taken from their home in July 2005. Prosecutors revealed that Cole and 3 men, Alan Wade, Bruce Nixon, and her boyfriend Michael Jackson, developed a plan to kidnap and kill the couple to steal their money. They dug a grave for the victims in Charlton County, Georgia, 2 days before knocking on their door and asking to use the phone. The level of premeditation was chilling. This wasn't a robbery gone wrong. It was murder by design. The couple was forced to turn over the access number to their ATM card, then buried alive. Imagine the terror of Carol and Reggie Sumner in their final moments, helpless victims of someone they had trusted enough to let into their home. Cole was sentenced to death, becoming the 3rd youngest woman on death row at the time. However, the case took multiple legal turns. Cole's death sentence was overturned by the Florida Supreme Court in 2017 because it was not a unanimous verdict, though a newly comprised court later reversed that decision. In August 2023, after 18 years, a jury voted 10-2 to spare Cole's life, sentencing her to life in prison. In an extraordinary moment, the victim's family spoke directly to Cole, saying, "Tiffany, I just want to say I forgive you. I truly forgive you." On to the next case. How do you protect a child when the monster lives in their own home? This question haunts our final story, a case that shows how even fame and success couldn't save one little girl. Judith Barsi provided the voices of Ducky in The Land Before Time and Amory in All Dogs Go to Heaven, both films released after her death in July 1988. She was only 10 years old, discovered at a San Fernando Valley skating rink. At age 5.5 in 1983, Judith beat 10,000 to 1 odds when she was mistaken for a 3-year-old. Her first commercial was for Donald Duck orange juice, and she went on to appear in anywhere between 50 and 100 commercials. But success couldn't protect her from the monster living in her own home. Judith and her mother, Maria, were killed in a double murder-suicide committed by her father, Judith Barsi, on July 25, 1988. Both Judith and her mother Maria were tragically murdered. Joseph had been increasingly violent and threatening. The Los Angeles Department of Children's Services had become involved in the case. The agency closed its file after Maria got a new apartment and had plans to divorce her husband. However, Maria refused to pull the trigger on leaving Joseph, which turned out to be a fatal mistake for both her and her daughter. In 1988, 10-year-old child star Judith Barsi was shot in the head by her father, Joseph Barsi, in a drunken rage. He then shot his wife before turning the gun on himself. In the wake of Judith and her mother's tragic murders, the city government took the Los Angeles Department of Children's Services to task for dropping the Barsi case too soon, especially in light of what family friends, Judith's therapist, and her agent had told the department. These 3 cases teach us devastating but crucial lessons. Rachel's story shows us how quickly toxic relationships can turn lethal. When someone shows you violence or threatens you, believe them. No relationship is worth your life. The Sumner murders remind us that evil can wear a friendly face. Trust your instincts about people. And remember that desperation for money can drive people to unthinkable acts. Judith's tragedy exposes how systems designed to protect children can fail them when it matters most. Warning signs of domestic violence must be taken seriously, and children cannot wait for adults to figure things out. Each victim deserved so much more. Rachel deserved to finish high school and find healthy love. Carol and Reggie Sumner deserved to live out their golden years in peace. And little Judith deserved to grow up and continue bringing joy to the world through her talent. What do you think? Could these tragedies have been prevented? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Respectful discussion helps us all learn and potentially save lives. If this episode moved you, please hit that subscribe button and share it with someone who needs to hear these important stories. Your like and share could help these victims' stories reach someone who needs to recognize the warning signs. Until next time, stay safe out there.